portrait project. This is after pretty much everything is done. I step away from the project, and then I'll come back to it and I'll really analyze it, and that's when I do the finishing touches. So I make my adjustments and values. I might make some changes in small areas here and there, and then if there's any details that I left out, I'll go back in and I'll put those finishing touches, like loose strands of hair, in this case of freckles on the cheek and nose. So you'll see that in the video, and I'll have a summary to wrap it up.
All right, so this is the final phase. Again, I've had the opportunity to step away from it for at least a day and look at it. And it helps to scan the images in and look at the previous videos, because I can see where some of my values were too light. The highlights in the hair were too bright. Other areas didn't have enough value. And then just because of drawing and then having a paper over the face, the paper lifted some of the graphite off and lightened some of the shadows. So I went back in and worked into the shadows again, and then I added small details, most notably the freckles on the cheek going into the nose. And for the freckles, not only did I really zoom into this picture, but I looked at 2 or 3 other up-close photographs, and I did my best to map out the freckles according to her actual face. I find doing little things like that really helps. I could have left the freckles off if I wanted to, but I kind of just wanted to finish it. And again, so by going in and really looking at my shadows and increasing some of my values, again, I'm trying to give it that more of a 3-dimensional look, especially around the nose. The nose can be really, really flat if you don't get your values right. And again, I am just going up and making little touch-ups here. I also took a very sharp 2H pencils and I added some more loose strands of hair that I felt were missing, and kind of add to it. If you don't add the little loose strands of hair, it kind of takes away from the picture. So it'll make the head look like it's been cut out. And when you add those little loose strands of hair, it just really adds to that realism a bit. And you'll see my head go up often because I am looking at that reference, and I'm really trying to capture where those freckles actually are. And then I'm increasing some of the shadows around the eyes. I put a drop shadow from the hair onto the face. And then just overall looking at the whole image, seeing what areas I need to improve, which areas are a little off. Even now, I see a couple areas I can go back into, especially around the neck, and fix. So again, this whole thing is dedicated to teaching portraiture to my students, which are at the high school level. And there's other videos out there that are produced better. I'm producing this in my office. But a lot of those videos skip over shading techniques. They're just pretty much so this is what you do, watch the video. But here, you know, I'm focused on teaching methods and you know, trying to teach some of the techniques that you can use to make drawing a little bit easier. So at the end of this, I'm going to group all the process from the photo to the grid to the various stages, so you'll see those come up right now. So there's the image with the grid. There's my drawing on the grid. There's my transfer. There's me laying out the values, coming in and darkening those values, mapping out the hair, rendering the hair, and then this is that final product. So that's it. That's the end of these videos for Grid Portrait.